It's been a wake-up call for me to just imagine that I don't have confidence and people actually pinpointing and using that against me. Life situations that happened to me made me stronger, never made me confident enough. I never really actually got the chance to think whether I am the confident one. But lately, I think that what's happening in my life has made me a little bit aware of myself and made me pursue this path of finding the right reason of why I am the way I am. Trying to pinpoint every other stupid question that pops in my head and actually being curious about myself, not other people or any other thing or any other subject. Hello, welcome to my video, and this is me, the messy one. So in today's video, we are actually going to talk about all of these things and what actual confidence feels like, what my voice feels like, not just reading through the script of life, but actually what my voice is, what my confidence is, what I like, what I dislike, what my triggers are, what self-help actually looks like. And it's a very messy area. I used to think that confident people were born that way. Like, it is given to them. It is a personality trait. It's not something that I can earn. It was given to them by their parents. Their parents were confident. I am not. So, and these are the people who don't flinch when spoken to harshly. The one who walk in and seem confident are the loudest, who have no doubt in themselves, the one who seems untouched by doubt. You have maybe spent years thinking that you are the problem, that something is wrong with you for being quiet, for thinking before speaking, for getting thoughts right after when someone spoke to you harshly, and again blaming yourself for it constantly, that why didn't I speak earlier, what's wrong with me, why can't I just speak like them, why do I freeze before when someone is speaking harshly to me and out of turn. Just really sit aside and keep on blaming ourselves, because let's be gentle and kind to yourself. Let's hear the voices inside your head and just ask them, okay, how can we do that? How can we actually feel better about ourselves and not self-blame? So compassion is the one thing that you need to focus on. So let me get into the confusion of it. Like, confidence, what is it? People have been saying confidence is something the way you sit, the way you talk, the way you don't flinch, the way you make eye contact. This is the commercialized version of confidence. Everyone is selling it, like self-help books, career coaches, dating apps. They're really selling is the image, the vibe, the look. How does it look? And what happens when someone poses a very bold quote and photo of them in the power pose, shoulders back, and suddenly you think that you are the problem, you are missing something. That is not you. So even if you try it, it feels like you are just acting, you're not being yourself. The true confidence is not about being the loudest. It's about hearing your own voice and never rejecting it. Not never, but immediately. Never immediately reject your inner voice. For me, confidence never showed up in meeting rooms, and when I'm speaking up for myself, when someone is rude to me at the coffee shop, or when I speak up at work. But I felt that my throat was closing. When someone interrupted me, I froze. I never told them, wait for your turn, replaying everything hours in my head and self-blame. This is what I do the best. Like, this is what I'm prepared for. This is what I have been taught. So what I realized is that I lacked confidence. And I was too busy bracing for rejection. I was scanning the danger instead of standing up for myself all the time. So scientists themselves say that there are two types of confidence: surface confidence, the visible core, the tone, the posture, the stuff, and the core confidence, the deep belief that even if you mess up, you'll be okay. The second one, that changes your life. How confidence actually grows. Okay, so let's drop the myth. Confidence is not a trait. It's a relationship with yourself. And like every other relationship, it builds through moments, through tension, through repair. So there are different phases that we go through. The number one is protective performance. You speak from memory, not muscle, not presence. You smile when you want to cry. You nod when you want to scream. People call you strong, but they have no idea you're crumbling at every conversation. That's protective performance. The phase two is a collapse. You start breaking down. You feel fake. You feel like you're losing it. This is where your real confidence begins. It's unraveling the mask. The rejection, you journal. The reflection, you journal. You cry, you get quiet, you start asking questions. Whose voice is this in my head? You begin with yourself. You begin hearing your voice underneath the noise. The phase 4 is the honest try. You say what you actually feel, not just to agreeing with them or worrying that they will reject you. You start to say what you actually feel. You begin hearing yourself underneath the noise. You feel like you try boundary. You feel like guilty. You feel guilty, but you do it anyway. And then the embodied truth. You exist without permission, without rehearsing. You're not bulletproof, but you're no longer abandoning yourself from this. It is not linear. Sometimes we move backward, sometimes we move forward, sometimes we stay still in one position, but we never really start over. We just begin from the deeper layer. Okay, so let's talk about what confidence is not. Because we have been fed with a lot of bullshit, BS. It's not posing a photo with a quote saying that you love yourself. It's not about posing a hot photo or posting a hot photo with a quote about loving yourself. It's not about bulldozing other people with your own opinion. It's not about being the loudest in the room. Honestly, they care deeply. They've just learned not to abandon themselves to please another people. That's what I have learned. There's a difference between being secure and being numb. Where confidence lives. Here's what nobody told me. Never ever nobody told me that confidence doesn't live in your chest puffed out. It lives in the moment you don't abandon yourself, you don't leave yourself, when you blush, when you fumble, when your hands shake and you don't apologize for it. Sorry. Confidence is not about absence of fear, it's about presence of yourself, of self, like inner, here. Your nervous system is the real compass. When you regulate it, your body feels safe most of the times. You are confident even if you're quiet, even if your voice shakes. Say what you mean, even if your voice cracks. The goal is not to be perfect. It's to be honest. Every time you see what's real, your body learns, oh, we can survive this. That's what your body says. Every time you make an eye contact with someone, you might feel like, oh shit, what am I doing? What am I doing? You won't feel confident. You feel like you're abandoning yourself. This is not me. I do not do something like that. You feel that way all the way through. And when that moment has passed, you will feel more guilty than ever. But that's just you learning new thing. When you used to write, when you were a kid, you learn how to pick up pencil and then write A, B, C, and D. And therefore all the alphabets, and then you learn to form a sentence. That was a start. Maybe your fingers never felt belonging to that pencil, but you learn all the way through. This is what you have to do anymore. If you make eye contact with someone, you have to stay. Cry later. Just make sure that you do that in the moment, and after 10 times or maybe 20 times, you will feel okay while doing it. You won't feel like, oh, this is not me. When I started making eye contact, I felt like I am not going to survive this. I felt like, oh shit, this is not me. But after 10 times, it was okay for me to look at other people's eye. When I started walking back my shoulder and like chin up and walking normally, I felt like this is not me. I used to watch people around me and I never felt safe. But once I started doing that, my body got used to it. Now I don't flinch like this. I sit like this or I walk like this. Not sitting, but walking like this. That has made a lot of difference. And it has been making difference for so long. Be awkward on purpose. Don't rehearse your story. Don't fix yourself. Just exist. Exist. It's okay to feel confident when you're feeling low as well. You don't have to like polish yourself. It's just freedom within yourself. You give yourself the chance to not to be okay and still not body shame yourself or still not shame yourself for feeling this way. If you're here and messy and you see someone hot, don't be like that. Don't punish yourself for it. And stop gaslighting yourself. Stop. When something feels off, listen. When someone hurt you, say it. When someone steals your stuff, tell them. Even if it is messy, your pain is valid. Your clarity matters. Maybe when you start talking, maybe you will feel that, okay, they are right. And breathe before you react. Confidence lives in the pause, not in the performance. Saying to yourself that I am not behind. I am not late. I am building a version of me that doesn't abandon herself anymore. Most of us are sold on this idea online: chin up, speak clearly, fake it till you make it. And we try, we copy, we're told of this, like, so we copy, we see if that this can work for them, it can work for me. We rehearse, we tell ourselves, okay, I'll do it today, I'll speak up, I'll hold eye contact, I'll walk in the room that I belong. But when we try it, it feels foreign, awkward, it feels our heart is racing, our face heat up, and in that moment we think, maybe I'm not confident at all. But here's the truth: confidence is not the final stage. It's about the cost. It's not about the costume you wear. It's about practicing it. It's a relationship with yourself. And let me tell you this thing very clearly: it's not a linear path. Some days you will feel you're stuck on phase one, and sometimes you'll feel like you have surpassed phase five. But why are you back to phase one? These 5 phases will constantly happen in a loop, and you will feel that you might not belong here. But you might make beautiful eye contact one day. Hold it with softness and feel proud. Then the next day, your eyes drop. You don't want to be seen, and that doesn't mean you failed. It just means that you are not on a linear path. And I want you to hear this. If you made eye contact one day, the next day you want to run, don't run. Stay. Shake later. Let your body know that you're doing this, and your nervous system will catch up. If one day you are overwhelmed with sadness, missing your family, or carrying wound from a conversation you didn't know that hurt you deeply, you're not broken, you're just having a hard day. Confidence doesn't mean that you show up every time the same every day. It means you're showing up with compassion for yourself. You can be confident and still tremble. You can be confident and still say, I don't know. One is quite confident. You walk in the room and you don't pretend. You don't shrink either. You just exist. You nod, you breathe, you stay, you try not to impress, but you know that you belong. You don't feel insecure in your mind. You're not racing here and there. Who should I talk to? Who should I talk to? Who should I stay with? Maybe if I'm seen with 2, 3 people, I will appear more belonged in the situation. But it's about trying not to impress. It's about feeling confident in yourself, and it's about not just trembling right at the moment. It's the relationship with yourself. Your to-do list is scary most of the times. Instead of escaping, you close one task one time, and you do it slowly, and you do it imperfectly, and you do a pause, and then that's a confidence. That's not rushing, but trusting that you will get through it. Speaking when you're not the expert. In a meeting, you don't know everything, but you still say, this is what I understand so far. So you let yourself be seen. You're not expert. It's okay. They know, but you let yourself seen. You are without the armor of knowing everything. That's confidence. Confidence is not permanent. It ebbs, it flows like your breath. And on the days you felt silent or feel small again, that doesn't mean you've lost it. It just means your body is processing. It means like life is heavy. It means that you need kindness. You don't need punishment. So let's be patient with yourself. Let's be linear path. You're not behind. You're just in it. You're building confidence in a language, slow, repetitive, emotional, body-based. And this is how you actually go from foreign confidence to real confidence, step by step, in your own voice and in your own experiencing. So I want you to stop memorizing and start embodying. So instead of trying to be confident one at work, try keeping eye contact with one person today and take 2 extra seconds, and that's enough. When you feel like your throat is tightening and you don't have words to say, and before saying no, say it anyway. Say it out loud before it's time. Most people wait until they are in the moment to be confident. But your body doesn't respond to logic under pressure. It responds to rehearsal. I used to go blank in every tough conversation. Then I started practicing what I'd say. Not in my head, but out loud, alone, on walks, in bathroom. I started talking to myself, and it became more easy to me. And again, it's a practice. saying I need a second to think about that. Actually, that sit well with me. I appreciate your input, but I'm choosing a different path. You don't need TED Talks to feel confident. Little micro wins means you're improving. You need to notice when you choose courage over silence, and that's a track record. I used to think that I need a big moment to prove I was confident. Now I celebrate when I say what I mean, and that's enough. And by celebrating, I don't treat myself every time I go on walk. I give myself credit for doing a good job, for creating a cheat, for going out of my comfort zone and talking to people, for wearing a dress that I always wanted to wear, or for making a change within myself. So this feels unfamiliar right now, but it's not wrong. It's not fake, it's just new. My younger self might panic, but the current self is choosing. You're never the same every year. Every year, something about you changes, and that's your age number. One year you're 14, next year you're 15. So that change, you're adapting to that change. Why not adapting to go and embrace yourself for it? Another thing that I want to tell you, that it's not wrong to be the loudest one. Maybe they are in their performative stage. Maybe they know how to regulate themselves. So, if your relationship with yourself is good, then I don't think it should be a problem. I think it should be something to celebrate yourself with. For people like people pleasers who are just run on the thought of pleasing other people and not themselves, who think of not wearing the dress that they were meant to just to please another people, they need to work on themselves. And when you start to embody yourself in the right place at the right time, understanding that you are here for a reason and you have every right to take up the path. Yes, the tips and tricks might not help, might feel foreign to you, but at the same time you need to start learning them. You need to understand and be curious about yourself. You need to start asking the right amount of questions at the right time. Whenever you feel bad, you have to try something new every time, so you don't fumble. And making eye contacts and making a power pose, they're just the beginning. And that's the phases of how we are to be sold to the right idea. It's not about being the loudest, but it's about being the comfortable one with yourself. Asking your inner self, like, what can I do to tips and tricks to contain my panic attacks? And if you need help with regulating your emotions, you can go to my channel and watch my other videos. I post all of these self-help videos where the questions we think about but never go so deeply into them in order to ask the question. So if you think that this video has helped you a bit, I am very thankful. You can subscribe, you can share, and you can comment as much as you want, but try to take these tips and tricks with you at home and try using at least one or two. Maybe you will feel better, maybe you won't, but at least you are more aware now. At least you know that these are the things that I know. Your self-image has started to improve. So see you next time. Thank you so much.